Good morning. I'm just looking at my citrus trees and they've gone a bit yellow. So I did feed them and I'm waiting to see some change in the leaves. We're in autumn now, so I gave them some rooster booster and hopefully that'll solve the problem. So the tomatoes are done and I've got the pots stacked over there and the tomato cages all pushed together. I just haven't put them away yet. So that's the end of tomatoes for my husband because he loves having them with his lunch. So I've been busy with my seedlings and what are these? Silver beet and Brussels sprouts. I don't hold a lot of hope for the Brussels sprouts, but I'll give them a go. And these are various veggies, and I have my flowers up here. Not sure what they are, but I have written it on the edge of the container, and I can read that, so at least I know what they are. And what I have here are more beetroots and a few onions that survived. There's a few little daisy things coming up. I might leave a couple, but I think I'll just rip them out. They must have self-seeded. So my status is still flowering. Roses got a bit washed out from all the rain, but they're fine. And what do we have here? More beetroots, more of these daisy things. I don't know, maybe I should stick them in some pots and put them in the freebie thing out the front. There's my lettuce, gone seed. I've got to collect that and then I'll rip these out. Oh, these little daisy plants have gone nuts. So anyway, that's okay. I'll pull them out. There's some more status. That's done very well. And I think what I planted along here were some onions, just to fill in the gaps. And carrots. We had a couple of carrots and they were quite yummy. I've got more planted out the back. They self-seeded, so I'm hoping that they'll do well. So this is my dahlia patch. Still got a few. I didn't think they'd do this well in autumn, but we haven't had any real cold yet. A few carnations and my climbing roses. Got to train them onto the fence. I did have my beans up on this trellis and they did really well, but now it's time for the roses to take over, so there won't be any more beans going on this next season. And this is just a mess, so I've got to tidy this up a bit, clean it up so I can put some of those seedlings in here. So these are my two flower beds, main ones. Now I've got two more. So I put a few peas in here and they're coming up. Something's been scratching around over there, probably cats. They get into this yard. They must love it here because it's a bit of an effort for them to get in here. Anyway, it's a bit of celery that I planted during the summer that's starting to take off now. And basil, I don't know if that's going to survive the cold, but anyway, it'll drop its seeds and I'm sure it'll come back. The capsicums that I put in, but I think I put everything in too late and they haven't really taken off. So more peas. Not many came up out of here. A few. There's a couple. But anyway, I've got plenty of peas inside. I can put more in. Well, there's still a couple of zucchinis in there. I think there's 3 all up. So I'll collect them later and we will have them roasted with cheese because they taste nice that way. But the plants are at the end now. And potato patch, when I took all the potatoes out, well, I left a few in there. And, well, they're growing, but we're going to have cold weather, so I don't know what they'll do. But anyway, I left quite a few in the bed, and we'll see what it does. So I've gone a bit potty, and I've moved a few pots from the front yard out here. Some of the herbs, because I think they'll do better under cover during the cold months. I like this corner. It's kind of a bit tropical, and I can see it from the kitchen where I sit. So I enjoy these plants. They all self-seeded. Freebies, except for the begonia that I pinched about 15 years ago from somebody's yard. I don't think they mind. I knew the lady, so it's okay. And I planted up 2 pots, these little green ones, with, what do you call this, lavender. So when we sit out here, we can just rub our hands on it and then brush it on our skin, and it does stop the mozzies. So that's a nice way to keep the mozzies off me. And there's my other herbs. So no idea what this one is. I think it's some sort of oregano. But anyway, I don't know why I bought it, but I did. So I've had to protect my strawberry tower from the dogs because I fed the strawberries and the dogs went nuts trying to eat the food, the fertilizer. So this is the only thing that I use fertilizer on, apart from rooster booster that I have. Other than that, I make my own, and I try to use that. Well, what I did here was I hacked away half of the native hibiscus. I have 2 of them. They look a lot better from the front, but I had to cut them right back, and hubby put the cuttings through the mulcher for me, so I got some mulch out of them. But I've managed to clean it up, and now I think I'll poison some of the grass, and I'll continue laying cardboard, and that should take care of it with a bit of grass clippings on top. So hopefully I weeded. I weeded a lot. It's getting a bit bald there, so I hope my neighbour cuts his grass soon. And he usually dumps it into my wheelbarrows over the fence, and then I bring it up here and I dump it into my yard. So I've pretty much got this, what I call a boomerang bed, under control now. And this is my lemon tree, the one my sister gave me. It's in a bottomless planter, and it's doing really, really well. And I'll just do a quick walk around. There's my artwork. You never know what you're stepping in around here with dogs, but I didn't. It was just a clump of mud. And this is another one. I love this one. We have to take it off when it gets really windy though. And I potted up my planters with cuttings. So that was good value. Anyway, we'll keep walking. It's my little potted area. We've got, I think, pansies or viola in there. Anyway, it's a bit of colour. So that's my garden bed, and pretty soon it will need to be cut back and it'll look very empty. And this is my tulip that I love. Oh dear. This is a jostaberry bush, and it's covered in caterpillars. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I've got 4 of them. These ones seem to be okay. Not Not too sure what to do. Vinegar. I'll get my vinegar. Spray them. They're only on one. This is the other bush. That's what the one with the caterpillars looked like about 3 days ago. And they've completely stripped it bare. So you just can't win. Gardening. Yep, I've got plenty of manure. I've got a stack of it out here in the veggie garden and a stack out the front for the flower beds. So it's not a lot going on. The usual. Rhubarb's doing well. Strawberries are still on strike. Didn't get one strawberry all summer. So I've covered up that bed again because it's just gets infested with weeds. So my plan for this one is I'll flatten out the soil once I take the plastic off, and we'll dump some of the soil from out the front that I've still got in the grow bags into this one. And I'm going to plant, I think I can fit 3 fruit trees in there. So, and then I'll let the grass grow, and that will just be much easier. And I'll get my husband to take this front panel off, and I will just curve the soil so that it's easier to get the mower in there. So my raspberries are doing very well, and hopefully they're not going to take over, but if they decide to spread outside this little bed, I'll just mow them over, or I might put them in some pots and leave them at the front in my freebie area. So this bed's empty. It had a lot of rubbish in it that I'd piled up on top of it. And so I don't know what I'll put in here, but I've got plenty of seedlings. So I'll clean that up and they'll be going in here. Something will go in there. More raspberries. I just bought this one last season and it's doing very well. And I have cross lettuce here that's self-seeded. Something's eating the leaves. Oh well. So I've been picking them, and we've been having them with our salad. And we've cleaned up this area. There was a lot of rubbish in here, and it self-seeded itself with broccolini. So I'm pretty sure it's going to do it again. And we've got cabbages, broccolinis, all sorts of things self-seeding here, where I piled the things that I cleaned up out of this bed, and hubby then put it through the mulcher. So that's also loaded with a mixture of seeds. And I cleaned up this bed. I kept 2 of the spinach plants. It's a funny sort of spinach, but it's nice in soups and risottos. And I piled some of the the mulch in there. No idea what's growing, but I think there were a lot of zinnias in amongst this one, so that's okay. Not zinnias, cosmos, and a variety of cabbage and broccolini, so it can grow. So this is the dreaded kale bed. Nobody seems to like kale, but I use it in my soups, and they don't seem to mind it in soup. And once these plants get a little bit bigger, I'll take some of the leaves off and put it in the freebie area outside. People can come and help themselves. So I had to put this cover on to protect my kohlrabi and my cauliflowers from the white butterfly, which is still hanging around. So that should keep it out. The rotten birds. I had all my silver beet nicely planted in here, and they've come in and just torn the whole bed to bits. So I've put some silver beet in pots out the front, and then once it gets a bit bigger, I'll put it in here. This is my self-seeded carrot bed, and there's quite a few carrots. I didn't do anything fancy this year. I didn't cover it, didn't do anything. I just scattered the seeds about when it was time, and so far so good. And this one is a mix of onions and self-seeded leeks. Some of the leeks will have to come out because they're not doing very much. But I've got a feeling that these could be onions, because onions or grass. Hopefully onions. And this is my collard section. They self-seeded and they're doing okay. They'll come good. In a couple of months you barely recognise them. They'll be 10 times, 20 times that size. More self-seeded rubbish. But anyway, I'll get around to it. I've got a lot of seedlings that I've got to find a place for, so I'll be cleaning up out here and putting my seedlings into these beds. So this is my blackberry, thornless blackberry. It's gone nuts. It seems to really like this corner. So I'll cut off the old ones. I think that's an old cane. And there's another one. There's a few in there. I'll do that. Anyway, it's doing good. And I'll say goodbye now. It's time for my cup of tea and my breakfast. You have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you soon.